Here we go. We got a good one today. It's going to be quick, but it's about race in the villages, bugs in the villages. And we're going to talk a little bit about me going storm chasing here in July and how you might be able to watch it live. Let's go ahead and get started. Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Rusty Nelson, and welcome to the YouTube channel here where we talk about a lot about villages and some other things dealing in retirement. I just got done doing a video where I talked about activities here at the villages, and I got in the comments, I got a bunch of invitations to go do some things at the villages, so we're going to have some more of those. Kind of fun, I think, probably, and I look forward to those. And July, I start my storm chasing guide. I guide storm chasing. We're going to talk about that in a second, and maybe where you can watch some of the video live while we're out there. And let me say thank you very much for subscribing and hitting the like button, the thumbs up button, or whatever it is. Really appreciate it. And let's get on to the first question, which was a big one for me. And I'm just going to jump right on this right away. And here it is. Good job, Rusty. I had pneumonia jab, because they're from the UK. Pneumonia jab, they call them jabs there in the UK. In fact, when I went to the docs, I had the flu jab in one arm, pneumonia in the other. So if you go back and look at some of my other videos, I actually caught pneumonia, went to the ER twice in the villages, where that was, I mean, as good as an experience as that could be. It was a good experience. And the main gist of a lot of that was, if you're coming down here, find yourself get your doctors lined up, because you don't want to do it at the last minute. Anyway, it says, we didn't find bugs to be an issue at all while we were there, meaning they came down for a lifestyle. They were here for a lifestyle visit. Now, let me say something. If I go back, and if you haven't watched my very first videos and you're thinking about coming here, go back and watch those, because it's literally me calling up the villages and going through the lifestyle process and registering for that. But I'm telling you right now, when I saw this note from John Hogan, it brought back memories right away, because in my mind, I was going to be surrounded by bugs and bugs everywhere. So I figure if I had that thought process, and John obviously was thinking about it, the bugs and everything, then other people are going to have the same thing going on in their mind. And all I kept seeing in my mind was these giant water bugs and all this. Let me tell you my experience right now. When I bought my new home, I came in and I signed up for all the things. Now I'm going to change those things, and I will keep you up to date on those as I change them. But I signed up for Massey, and the whole outside of my house was covered with a ton of spiders. Now, I had talked to somebody at that time, and they said, oh yeah, we moved here a couple years ago, and ours was that way at first, because what happens is you move in, you disturb the natural surroundings right there, and you plop these houses down, and there's no place for the spiders to go but right around the house. So I did a lot of spraying around the house, and I would knock down the spider webs and everything. And this year, it does not seem to be that bad at all. I had Massey come in, and they sprayed some stuff in the walls. And my opinion of this right now, I'll tell you, is they haven't been back inside the house. They were supposed to come back inside the house, but I'm not down there, so they can't get in there. Now, once every few months, which is not enough in the beginning if you bought a brand new house, they come down and dust down the spider webs. They won't spray, because they say they can't spray anything. Not all the companies are like that. But I did go, and actually I think what I'll do is I'll do something on the bug spraying, what I do, because it's pretty much knocked them down. I don't have any problem with bugs inside. Now, I don't want to dwell on this. I just want to let you know, if you're thinking about coming down here, or you're thinking about buying a house down here, the bug thing was nowhere near as big as I thought it was. And I'd love to hear from people that maybe have a different experience. The one thing is mosquitoes. I think the closer you actually live to the swamp, forest kind of thing, you probably may have more of a mosquito problem than what I do where I am. But they do come spray at night down where I am, down in St. Catherine area. and you hear them with the mosquito trucks. Reminds me when I used to go to Ocean City as a kid, they come through there at night and spray for mosquitoes and stuff like that. So anyway, that's about it. Very minimal where I am. I'd love to hear in the comments from other people about their experience as far as bugs. It would be great too in the villages. Anyway, thanks John for writing that, and we're going to kind of move on to storm chasing.
God, I can't even get this door open.
Absolutely unbelievable. The air moving into this is absolutely incredible. Yeah, that was lightning. Hello and welcome to my newsletter and video blog project for 2017. I'm Rusty Nelson, a photographer, storm chaser, and speaker, and the camera has definitely become my excuse for adventure, like seeing the birth of this tornado. Amazing. That was a clip from over on my YouTube channel that is kind of hasn't gone defunct, but I don't do it that much anymore because the Village's YouTube channel has taken over. Where I am a storm chasing guide, and actually what I do, let me read these really quick. Fenn Business Consulting wrote, Rusty, please show us more of your storm chasing career. Keep up the great work. Can't wait for my lifestyle visit in a few years. Hey, get down here. That's all I can say. You'll have a good time. And Catherine wrote, and just as I pressed the send button, my husband asked me to include, is there any place he can follow your storm chasing adventures? Thank you. Enjoy a great day. And I hope everybody enjoys the 4th of July. So for people that don't know it, I have for a number of years now, well, I've done storm photography for a long time. I'll go ahead and throw one of those pictures up right now, but I've done storm photography where I go and I chase down tornadoes and kind of the wild weather type thing. And I became a guide where I guide for a company called Silver Lining Tours and Roger Hill. Now, Roger Hill, if you haven't heard of him, which I'm not sure you would unless you're involved in that business, he holds the Guinness Book of World Records for seeing the most tornadoes out of any human being. And he's like, kind of owns one of the big guide companies that goes out and does this. Now, we get people that come in from all over the world to come do this, from China, Europe, Africa, all over the place. And I recently did a talk in the Villages for the Intermediate Photography Club. Hopefully I'll get invited up to go do one for the other photography club or one of the other groups. I'm happy to do it about storm chasing. And it's not just a technical photography thing, but it's about storm chasing. So if you have any desire, if you have a group or something and like somebody to come give a talk like that, please give me a call. But in the middle of July, every year, and I used to do it more than this, I leave for the Midwest. And this year, like around July 9th or so, I go out and I start guiding again. I'll probably be out there for 10 days, 2 weeks, something like that. And a lot of times, if we can, we'll broadcast right from one of the vans. And I will put the link down below under Storm Chasing Live link. And if we're on, you should be able to watch us. Now you click on the little car, Roger Hill or whatever, but you should be able to see right out our front window where we are and what we're looking at. So anyway, that's what that's all about. Thank you, Catherine and Fenn for writing in on that. And I'll sign out this part with one more picture. And we're on to the controversial one right now about race. Here goes. Okay, I know your brain's going, he's got a different shirt on. Yeah, I got a different shirt because I managed to spill coffee on it somehow. Not really sure with a nice mug like this. I still did it. But instead of looking fool, I decided I better go back and change. But I'm going to have a sip of that coffee. So I pondered over this a little bit, talking about race and whether I should do it. And then I realized when I jumped back to the purpose of this channel, when I started this, a year and a half ago or something like that, it was because I had looked up a bunch of stuff about the Villages, and then I decided to come down here to see what it was all about. And I thought, wow, it's kind of a crazy place. Well, 98% of what I had read or seen on YouTube or whatever was not real. It was fake. The crazy stuff, the people riding around in golf carts, flipping birds off, stupid things like you look at it like some knucklehead, some lady lifting her shirt or something like that. Yeah, I realize there's 130,000 people down here. There's always going to be something, but that's what the media keys in on. And that's not fair to the people thinking about moving here or wanting to live here or come down to the villages. So part of that is some statements about race. And let me read this statement. All right. Now, this is a comment, and let me explain something about comments. I read all comments. Every comment that's written, I read. So if it goes out there, I have to approve it or nobody sees it. And even the replies, I approve. Why? Because I just don't want a bunch of BS out there. I don't want this to become a political channel. So I just kind of curb it and keep those things. Now, if it's constructive and it's negative, let it fly. But if you're just a troll putting something out there because you stumbled onto it, I'll see it, but then it gets deleted. This is the comment, and it's from Bruce, and it says, the elephant in the room is the complete lack of minorities. In other words, there's no minorities in the villages. Well, first of all, it's not entirely true. There are. So we're dealing with about 97% some white, but there are other minorities. The thing is, let me tell you right now, there's absolutely nothing that goes like this. Knock, knock, knock. And the gate opens and somebody goes, I'm sorry, you're the wrong color. You can't move here. Knock, knock, knock. Oh, you're the wrong religion. You can't come through. Like that. I haven't perceived any of this. Now, where does my perception come from? It comes from that year and a half of living here. And I'm kind of in an unusual spot because I have this YouTube channel and I get a lot of people that talk to me because of the YouTube channel. I get a lot of people that recognize me when I'm out and about in the villages that come up and talk to me. I've made a lot of friends in the villages. And I have to be honest with you, the racial thing never comes up. I mean, it just doesn't. So I started thinking about this clip from 60 Minutes that had Morgan Freeman and Mike Wallace in it. Now, I'm going to play this clip, and I want you to listen to this because I think Morgan Freeman hits on something that is key, and that is that if you had a completely benign racial society where it wasn't full of racism, it would play into the last 15 seconds that he talks about. Now, let me play the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? Well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
No.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism until...
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man. I know you as Mike Wallace. You know me as Morgan Freeman. You want to say, well, I know this white guy named Mike Wallace. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
Hopefully, you understood what Morgan Freeman was saying. And I'll tell you how that blends into my experience with the villages, because when I first went down to the villages, now you have to realize that those people that live in the villages, they understand a lot of what I'm going to say. The people that don't live in the villages, or you're thinking about the villages, you're probably a lot like me, where before you moved down to the villages, you had this handful of information that was YouTube stuff, some crazy stuff, and stuff that the media put out there. Now think about it. The media only puts out stuff in there if you're going to click and stay on their channel. So they're not going to have a video of people going out and playing pickleball and having a good time. It's going to be about some crazy dude in a golf cart. So when I moved down there, I had this clump of information, and that's what I was armed with. And what I realized, and not even realized it right away, as I clumped along and I lived my life down there and I started to experience more and more of the villages, it became more like what Morgan Freeman was saying was, and I actually realized this when I went down there. I said, wow, nobody forced any political things on me. I never heard any racial things. I never heard any anti-LGBTQ things. And the opposite side is nobody tried to tell me that how I had to believe things. The elephant in the room suddenly became, Bruce, not that there wasn't that there wasn't a lacking of minorities, but the thing is those gates were wide open and nobody really cared. What they cared about was that elephant trumping along and going and playing golf or playing pickleball or having a good time. And I honestly realized that. I said, God, this is pretty cool. Nobody really cares. They're just out there to have a good time and live together. And as you go into any other city in the country, there's a white neighborhood, a black neighborhood, an Italian neighborhood, Jewish, whatever that is. There are neighborhoods, Chinatown, whatever, right? In the villages, you're lucky enough to get a house to go live in the villages. But that's the cool part about it. It is just a giant villages with a bunch of little villages all over the place. And everybody just kind of lives together. And that's what I like about it. So my point is, it's probably getting rid of racism is probably closer, the villages is closer to what Morgan Freeman was saying than the rumors that you're seeing out there on media and video. Hopefully that makes sense. And you see where I was going with that. So that's my opinion after a year and a half of living down there. Is that's one of the things I really like about it. And I like the fact that that's just not a part of it. It's more my golf score. Anyway, I hope you've had a great time listening to this. We're coming up on 4th of July, so I hope you have a great 4th of July weekend. I will put down below my links to where you could possibly pick us up live if there's a storm or we're chasing a storm. When I come back, I promise you I will do a video on that storm chasing trip. I'll try to take a bunch of video. So make sure you subscribe. Like this if you like this channel. Really appreciate it. And as always, I will either see you down in the villages or I'll see you back on YouTube. Everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful 4th of July weekend. I'm going to go out and have mine now that I have a clean shirt on. Have a great day.